So, hello, Divine Masculine Collective, whether you're a man or a woman or whatever you identify as. That just rolls off the tongue now, doesn't it? So, just making sure I'm including everyone. Right, where we're going to go. Right, so I've made a bit of a bigger sort of list of what I want to look into. So, I don't know if I'll stick to that all the time because it's quite a big bit. But, right. So, before I get into doing that, so first of all, if you're brand new to me, which most of you won't be, but just in case someone's brand new to me, I'm just basically channeling all the time. Whenever I'm talking about anything, it'll look like I'm having a wee chat, I'm channeling. So pay attention to everything. But everybody around here knows that if you're a hashtag oldie or newbie, and again, nothing to do with age, it's just how long you've been around. Right, so me being a shaman, one of the ways in which messages get delivered are actually, that's the mediumship bit as well. But anyway, oh, how funny. And I've just noticed they both say flame light. Right, so I went to light the candle before doing this message, and let's see if it does it now. I was like, oh, it did do it. See, it's not now. It's sparking. It's not lighting. It did kind of look like, I'm going to need to watch that back and see if it did light. But anyway, see, very little light. That's good. Right. Basically, you might think, what the fuck? That totally means something, because I'd already opened up the space to do this, and I was like trying to light the candle, and I was like, what the fuck? And it always means something. And it's like I was being told again, it's like a lot of the Divine Masculine Collective just keep trying to get their energy back, and they just keep getting zapped. And again, like I always say, I know this to be true because I just channeled the weekly message in my membership there. And like say, a lot of the women, if not all the women, mostly it is all the women that come to me, what I'm healing in people is Divine Masculine energy, and I'm balancing that out in them so that they can, with women, embrace more of their Divine Feminine. Which again, I know that will confuse the hell out of some people, but whatever. If you get it, you get it. Just keep up with what you can keep up with. But yeah, basically what they were saying to me is, yeah, a lot of the people that are going to resonate with this, it's like you just keep so again, this is for this. I'm starting with the Divine Masculine message as well, because the last two times I've done this, I've done Divine Feminine and then I've done Divine Masculine, and I was clearly guided to do Divine Masculine and then Divine Feminine. So even that in itself, it's like a switching of the energies, and it's like, oh my God, I just got what that means. And it's like where the Divine Feminine would be like leading the Divine Masculine, you know, like doing all the energy work, and the masculine, well, yet to wake up. I don't really like that term, but you're to wake up to the connection or to get more of it. It's like I feel the fact that I've been guided to do Divine Masculine first and then Divine Feminine. It's about the Divine Feminine taking a step back and letting the masculine be the masculine, basically. And all that means is to take action. So particularly because again, I know that I don't know that I'm saying I know that there'll be cross watchers, like there's like there are thousands of people at some point, but I know that there is, with my wee community, there is people that watch both. So, and some of that would be cross-watching to see where your twin's at. But like I always say, you should really, there's no shoulds in this, but it would be helpful to watch both, because if you're picking up what I'm putting down, you should be able to see both parts of yourself, regardless of whether you know who your twin flame is or not. But like I always say, I say this to my clients all the time, I say it in my groups, sometimes, you know, you get real defensive people that are like, well, I don't even care. I don't even know who my twin is. Or some people will be like, I know who my twin is, or they don't give a fuck. And I hear you, right? I get what you're saying. And I know why some people can feel like that. But it's kind of like, well, first of all, if you're saying it's because you don't know who they are, if you've come this far on it and you're still watching this video, especially if you're new to me, the very fact that you are a twin flame, and because, you know, and we'll say hypothetically that you are a true twin flame, you should care about your twin flame. even if you don't know who they are, because it is your energy, whatever way you want to see it. The other half of your soul, it's your energy, it's the yin to your yang, it's your lobster, whatever. Like, they are your energy walking about out there. So you should care about them, because if you reject your twin flame, you're rejecting a big part of you. And obviously that is part of the journey. Either you will have done that divine masculine energy, well, 100% divine masculine energy does that, but divine feminines do it as well. Because like I say, divine feminines have divine masculine energy in them. And like you say, there should be at some points in your journey, you can see where, oh yeah, I was maybe quite closed off or guarded, or not showing all of me. And again, for people that resonate, I'll probably go into that more in the divine feminine one, but again, it's relevant to both. Divine, yeah, whatever, whichever one you associate with more. If you done that, or your twin done that, you would have had your reasons for it. And it's usually like, with most people, it would be that you've been hurt in the past. There's Mercury retrograde coming in. It's coming in on the 10th, but it's coming in already. I'm mixing up all the words. But again, I tend to feel, especially because I'm channeling the divine masculine message right now, although both tongues can get tongue-tied. Could make loads of jokes. Both twins could get tongue-tied when trying to communicate their feelings to one another. The funny thing is, though, a lot of twins don't have difficulty communicating how they feel about their twin to other people. That's quite a fascinating thing. And that's not just divine feminines. Like, I have known it to be that a lot of divine masculines can talk about how amazing they feel their twin is. Maybe not to everyone with divine masculines, but to people that they trust, but they can't say it to their twin, their divine feminine. But again, the same thing. Divine feminines can talk about their divine masculines and keep them very much alive. Their dream alive. I spoke about this loads, so that's 100% what I not did do. Well, it depends. You know what I mean? Again, I've spoken about that before. If you're new, you can just go and catch other videos. But because again, this is a very unique journey. Oh god, this is getting too complicated already, but we're going to stay with it. But again, see what I mean? Like, this is all part of it. I have to push my ego aside. I'm wanting to start again, because I'm just like, this is just going all over the place. But this is so fascinating, because I walked past a workies van earlier. What did it say again? It said something about seeing it. I can't remember. This wasn't the exact thing, but it was something about seeing it through till it's it all rhymed perfectly in that, right? But I can't remember what it said. But they just told me when I walked past it. Which, bear in mind, is quite funny, because most of it's not like I don't ever go anywhere, but most of the time I'm just down the beach. And so it's oh no, wait a minute, that's not true, because when I'm walking along to my mum and dad's and stuff like that, or if I'm going to see a pal, I would have been seeing cars. But anyway, it was just, so whatever, forget that bit. But it's like I was drawn to a van, and I was really being drawn to the van, and I was like, why have I been drawn to that? And it was because it was about seeing something through until it's perfect. And it was about, I don't know, it was about gardening or something, or laying bricks, right? And it's just, obviously that's the slogan for that company, is that they're going to see the job through until it's done. But what sorry, just laughing. But what my guides were saying to me is, like, this is what a lot of divine masculines are doing right now. This is providing, this is ones that aren't feeling like utter shite, down, no energy, because that's what this is about. When I finally get to it, I'll get into that story. This is for ones that have maybe got a wee bit more energy, or it could be both. Like, they've got no energy, and when they've got energy, they know exactly what they want to do and how they want to come in and all that. And I don't know why I'm saying they, because this is the divine masculine video, so it just takes me a while to switch gears. But see, okay, but all of this means something. It takes me a while to switch gears. I feel that's really what it's about. Divine masculine, those of you out there that are divine masculine, it's like you're taking a while to get used to the change. And I feel the eclipse energy at the weekend there, because I'm filming this on Tuesday. If you're watching, and I do plan to put it out tonight, I do plan to upload it and just put it out. And it's kind of like, yeah, you're taking a while to adjust to the changes in your life that are going on. And I feel that's many, many different changes to life. It'll be different for different people. So it's kind of like you're really having to shift gears to, for those of you that are being guided and that are ready to move towards a twin flame, whether that is like physically moving towards a twin flame or just sending a message. Again, both are big things when there hasn't been communication for a long time, which is primarily the people that I channel for. And actually, I was going to say, I don't know, because it would actually take ages. And the last video I done for Divine Masculine was an hour. It's not that it can't be that, but just bear in mind that I was possibly going to do either a separate video, but I don't think I'm going to do it. I'll just do it in here. So I might just do it as I'm going along for like twins in union as well. So like meaning that you are actually physically in a relationship with your twin flame, because divine masculine, divine feminines go through a lot of the similar feelings of twins and separation. Like you're still on an ascension process. And I know this again because of the work that I do with twin flames. So I just feel it would be quite helpful to give a bit of guidance for the, although the thing is, even when I'm talking about twins and separation, you could just take the bits that resonate for you for being in a relationship with someone. But again, that's like, I can see how it makes sense, but I'm aware that that's part of my gift. Other people might not be able to see it fit, so I might need to actually point out or do it separately like that. But anyway, so the whole thing with me saying that in that van is about the divine masculines that are ready, they're planning something, they're coming in. It's like it's this that's come through before. It's about like wanting to have everything perfect. And you can't really judge if somebody's like that, they're like that, like they want something to be a certain way. But and obviously depending on what this is, like it's because it'd be different for different people. Some of this stuff could take time and plan it, like whatever, but it's in other ways it's more just it can even just be in a more sort of simple way that I just keep getting this feeling of like what to say. And again, we'll find that out when I use the cards that are the where are they? Oh yeah, I've put my phone on them. The ones that are like specific messages as well. And actually, because this is the divine masculine one, I think I'd quite like to use, and then this has got divine feminine. I think I'll use that message, like I don't know where. Yeah, here, because like I say, they ones are like more from a divine masculine, so I need to improvise with. Anyway, God, it's taken 13 minutes to describe this, but that is divine feminine number, right? So the whole thing with the lighters. So basically, with the van, all it is that I was getting for some divine masculines, it's there's just need to be perfect, and again, as we all know, nobody is perfect, nobody can be perfect, but translate perfect to wanting to be the best that they can be before they come into your life, before you go into your twins life. This is divine masculine's video. So yeah, there's picking up it. And what I would say about that, as I've said it before and it's come through, I've channeled it before, it's like you say, people are who they are, and I respect people are who they are, but it's about kind of like that coming from my inner divine masculine energy. And this is so interesting. I can feel a lot of energy healing going into the heart. So if you're new to me and you're feeling heat on any part of your body, actually, your back, or particularly your back or your heart, it's because I can feel there's a lot of energy going in to heal the heart. And not a coincidence I've wore green, because whatever I wear is always part of this as well. Green is the heart chakra. That's typically associated with like the heart chakra and healing, although green can mean whatever it wants to mean to you. But anyway, basically, it's this kind of energy of, yeah, like just with a couple of synchronicities I've had today, it's kind of like, I can't remember, it was just someone had contacted me about something, and I just kind of said something similar about, if I hadn't stayed stuck for many, many years with loads of parts of my life, but mainly my work, then I wouldn't be able to help the people that I help. And that actually like 100% goes for the twin flame journey as well. Like when I'm channeling for divine masculine energy, it's not necessarily like, not all of it is coming from me saying this is where my divine masculine's at, because although I can tap into the energy, we don't know that until we know it. Do you know what I mean? But I do know it. Yeah, it's like it's some of it will be him, and some of it won't be. Do you know what I mean? And that's just for whatever you to take wherever you resonate. But a lot of when I'm channeling about divine masculine energy, it's actually where I have been in my own life, like stalling, like having, this is going an interesting way, but we're going with like coming from like when I have had amazing idea, I'm not being modest, amazing ideas for like courses or any kind of business ideas, and just like sitting on them for like, we're not just talking months, I'm talking years, like really good ideas, which I then have later executed. But like the course that I put out last year, which, it was a very small group, but they all loved it, and got so much out of it. I wrote that like 4 years ago or something, right? And I just wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to be the perfect time. I wanted it to be the perfect new moon. I wanted it to be the perfect full moon. Then I would leave it again. And you know what? You're getting it. Like I would leave it, I'd leave it, I'd leave it, I'd leave it. Because I'd be like, when it's just how I want it to be, then I'll do it. When it's just how I want it to be, then I'll do it. And it's like, it's not a coincidence. I said someone today, at some point, you've got to bring the dream into reality, something like that. But it's kind of like that's where I feel a lot of divine masculine energies are at. So bear in mind, that's interesting that I've just said that was more from my own inner divine masculine energy, was stalling and stalling and stalling and stalling and just never taking action, with anything, having all the amazing creative ideas and never taking action. Therefore, if you're not taking the action on your creative ideas and it's your business, you're not going to have any money. Do you know what I mean? And I really did learn that the hard way for a very, very long time. And then my course that I put out more recently as well, like I'd had, actually, that's a good example of I got inspired with that sort of late last year, and I got on it pretty fast. Do you know what I mean? Because we've been doing it for a month. Well, that's fast for me. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've gotten better, is what I'm saying. So I can see where I've improved, but I can really resonate with what I'm channeling here, that wanting something to be perfect, like, planning every move meticulously until you offer it out, in my case. But actually, what's really funny, and so this is so, I've not even pulled a card yet, but I don't need to. So I love that this is coming through like this. Some people are going to get it, some people aren't. And I've still not told you the lighter story. I'm sure you can imagine what is though. The things that people love the most that I do, from the feedback that I've got, are literally things that, like, I'll grab my phone. I remember I made a note on my phone for one of my challenges, and I literally made the note on my phone and it was no longer than a minute. And that one's actually one that I haven't done yet, but when I've ran it by people, they're like, oh yeah, I really want to do that. And then the challenges that I did run, because I think did I run 3 of them? Feels like I've done loads more than that, but I think it was 3. Everybody loved it. People soared in their business, and I mean soared in their businesses, and it was a free challenge, guys. Now, it doesn't mean that people did buy my packages, and thank God, that not everyone, but the people that were ready for it took the jump and said, fuck it, let's go. Because that's my whole tagline it says my tagline general, especially when it's Venus and Aries right now. Like I say, I'm not just saying this, but the best time to work with me is right now, because I've got Venus and Aries, and Venus has just went into Aries. So I'm extra passionate right now about taking action. But basically, by the way, if you hear my stomach rumbling, which usually when I say that, nobody ever does, it's because, well, I've got a bit of a cheek. I had something to eat there after channeling my group, but not enough. I'm going to need to eat again after this. But usually anyway, you can't hear. But and when you hear the couch squeak, so whenever I move, the couch squeaks, that you sometimes can hear. But see what I mean? See, I'm being so, my hearing is so extra sensory, and I'm so sensitive to everything that I'm like, it's like, but not everybody actually attunes to the world around them. Say, rarely do I ever meet anybody that attunes to the world like I do. And if I do, it's probably all the people that are in my soul family or in my groups or something, or clients. But basically, hopefully you kind of get what I'm saying, that I really do resonate with divine masculine energy out there, whether you're a man or a woman, whatever you identify as, about what it's like to want to take action with something, but waiting it's like almost, I was thinking about this the other day, like I've got some kind of weird thing about delayed gratification. But it's quite funny that I just mentioned Venus and Aries, because it's definitely to do with that. Like I like the whole, I like well, Aries is excitement and it's passion. And it's so I'm helping the right people, helping the twin flames, but it's catch me if you can kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, but at some time you got to slow down and let people catch you. But again, it's like the problems can come in then as well if you're kind of quite, well, very particular about who you want to catch you. And that was actually something that came through my group earlier as well, but like about basically be discerning about who you let around you. So that might be for somebody out there too. But what I'm saying is, it's like, yeah, anyway, I can't, like, that's enough of that, but I get what they're trying to say, that like I really, that whole kind of, that could go on forever. Like seriously, like I always say, I've got no regrets, like no regrets in life about the way that I've done anything. It's literally, I feel everything in my life has happened the way it's meant to happen. And yes, that does include with my own twin flame journey. Like it doesn't mean that there's things that I can be like, oh my God, like if I had went this way in life, this could have happened. And I'm sure the same thing with, like, you know, people's twin flames out there and that, like definitely people's divine masculines and that definitely will have at some point thought like, I wonder what would have happened if I had went this way instead of that way. And you see, all of that can be really dangerous if you go round and round in that forever, because you didn't. Do you know what I mean? And it's like kind of like you just need to accept that you made the right decision at the right time, what you felt was right for you in your life at that time. And I feel that even people out there that feel like they took a wrong turn or they made the wrong, took the wrong path in life, because again, I hear this from my clients all the time, you didn't, because everything that you went through, you're more than likely going to help other people through it, either professionally or personally or both, because that's like me. It's like, that's what I said to someone today, like, you know what, do I get frustrated when I see people are stuck and I would be able to help them in a session? Absolutely. It's annoying as fuck. Do you know what I mean? But then I fall back into my compassionate side and I'm like, do you know what? I remember when I was stuck for years and I either wouldn't admit to myself that I needed help to get the, or I probably like didn't even have the money to get the help. Do you know what I mean? But then even when I did have the money, I would get the help. But then I eventually got to a certain point where I was like, nah, do you know what? If I'm stuck and I want to move, then you just need to get the help. And that's why I was going about, it's but actually in saying that, to be fair to myself, I made that decision a long, long time ago, because I had a counsellor for 7 years that I only finished with. When did I finish with her? Was it before Christmas? I can't remember, but do you know what I'm saying? And then as it got towards the end, I only saw her like, sometimes it was like once every couple of months or whatever. But what I'm saying is, like, that was me working on myself. That was me putting in the work. And most of it is because, well, I am a counsellor and a healer. So I feel when I'm listening to everybody else's stuff, I need somebody to really be there for me that's not a friend or a family. Because again, a counsellor it's a very different thing, that they're able to, listen, and they don't know any of these people and everything. But yeah, I don't know who, again, this is so funny, but I know that when I'd said that on the last ones, and again, I'm not new to this. I'm like, see what I mean? This is funny. It's like it's like I'm saying it like I'm not new to this. So it's like, I know that will have been for someone. But yeah, so it's just funny that I haven't even pulled a card, but sometimes that happens. That happened all the time on my Facebook Lives. I'd chat for ages and I hadn't even pulled a card. But I just feel somebody really needed to hear that, about if you're a divine masculine energy out there, and especially if you're one of the divine masculine energies that is, you're pretty much ready to move towards your twin flame, but you're going over what you're going to say, or you're feeling like you have to make some big grand gesture or that, or I don't know, a wee mixture of all of this, or just kind of leaving it and leaving it and leaving it and leaving it. Or even worse, you could be completely burying your head in the sand and still denying your feelings. Like, again, there absolutely will be divine masculines out there doing that. But again, you probably wouldn't be watching this if that was you, or if you are, then maybe I'm gonna help you wake up to the journey, but whatever. It's that kind of feeling of, I know what this is about. Well, it's like I said that to a client earlier today. If your heart is telling you to do something and it's just, it's not leaving you and you're just like, right, I need to do this. And it's coming from, it's coming from your heart and not from your ego. It's kind of like, right, if you're wanting to send a message to anyone, but to your twin flame, and it's coming from your ego and you're like, right, I'm going to send my divine feminine this message and she better fucking reply, because if she doesn't, then I can't handle this or whatever, because that could happen from rejection. Again, I don't feel this is the best of it. See, this is so funny. I don't normally I totally channel the collective of divine masculines when I do this, because I don't usually judge myself like that, and this is part of it. But it's like, and then I'm forgetting what I'm saying when I'm saying that. See what I mean? It's like, can you see how muddled up my energy's getting, and I'm getting running rings around myself? But this is what a lot of these divine masculines are doing, like overthinking everything and then just abandoning the project. But the project, which is something they want to do, again, which will be talking to their twin flame, or for some people it could even be like abandoning a project, like a work thing. Like for those people that don't know who their twin flames are, it might be that they're being guided to take action with something, they're not doing it, it's too hard, and go and do it. And again, that's the bit that I can say I've absolutely been there. Like I knew that I needed to do something, but because I was so scared of putting an offer out, I would just think and do something, it totally distract myself and do something else, and just not do nothing. I was always being of service, but I was playing small. But again, this is all part of my journey, and that's how I'm good at helping people move on to the next part of their journey, like, move outside your comfort zone. And I was just saying to somebody that, right, what was it? I was saying, oh yeah, so it's like with the whole send the message thing, if you're sending the message and you've got all these expectations, or you're like already planning out how everything's going to go, then that's your ego. Whereas if you just think, right, you know what, are you feeling it and you're like, I want to send this message because I just want to send it. I'm ready to send it. I want to send it, and I'm just going to send it and let the cookie crumble, whatever. And it's not coming from a place of like expecting anything, then send it. But if you're sending it and you're just kind of like, I better get this reply, or it better be this way, then that's your ego. And whenever, I've said that to clients, if ever you have been, swaying over sending a message, or I don't know, for some people it could be like sending Facebook requests or whatever, things like this, it's like kind of like sometimes you could leave it right up until the last minute, and then you've got to tune into that. You've got to tune into that personally. Like, does this feel right? Does it feel like I'm going to be really fucked off if this person doesn't give me back exactly what I want to hear? And if you're still in that place, don't do it. Whether it's a happy birthday, whether it's a Merry Christmas, which we're, whatever. Like, it's not a good place to do it from, because it's when you're sending the message out, you're sending it out with that energy. So it's about, I get what they're saying, right? I get what they're saying. So because this is the divine masculine energy, which I've now channeled for 30 minutes without a card, I might say, it's about, if you're one of the divine masculines that are stolen over sending a message, just send it when you're in a good place. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, it's like, because when you send the message out with the energy that you're in. So if you send it when you're feeling excited, or you're feeling happy, or you're feeling confident, your twin flame's going to feel that. Like, they're going to feel that energy when they get it. And actually, again, because I'm talking to twin flames, because I'm talking to twin flames, your divine feminine is going to fucking love whatever you send her. So, this one doesn't really apply. It's more like when I'm more sort of talking about when divine feminines were going to send their divine masculine a message and they're shitting themselves. And because that is a lot of the time where you wouldn't get anything back. And that's why a lot of divine feminines don't even bother. But again, even that is like, you can't always be like that either, because then it's like you're not getting it as well. Because sometimes, you do have to say the happy birthday, you do have to say the Merry Christmas, you do have to say, hey, I'm thinking you on this day, because it's about sending that love out. and hey, I'm thinking here, or that energy. And you know, for some people they might be like, Claire, it's not really appropriate in my situation, so I'll just do it energetically, whatever. But where you know you are strongly guided to, just do it because you want to do it and you're sending good energy, knowing that your twin is going to feel the healing from you. And so because I'm talking to divine masculines and where we're at 30 minutes now, because where we're at on the journey, with a lot of twins, oh, I didn't bring those cards through, with a lot of twins being close to union, like I say, I'm channeling for, and the close can be, you know, whatever, weeks, months, days, in some cases hours, you know, depending on who's finding this, especially because of that eclipse energy changing a lot of stuff. It's going to be different for different people, but it's about just being mindful about when you send the message. If you're going to overthink anything, just be mindful about that whenever you're feeling calm or happy or confident, particularly confident, I feel, because that can be a lot of where, because then, well, we're going to see, but because the energy's been, there's been a lot of low feelings and even depression and just real not good feelings, and then it just keeps getting confirmed back to me when I'm hearing from clients. And it's going to go a lot better than if you message when you're feeling like absolute shit. This is pointing out the obvious, but I feel like I need to point out, feeling like absolute shit, you're feeling angry at the world, you're feeling angry at people at your life. Even worse if you're feeling angry and triggered by your twin. I mean, it's not going to be the great time to message them, is it? Unless that is like you can't hold back and you're sending them abuse or something. But again, that's a whole other ball game. You know, you don't want to be doing that either. And it's but again, that's, I don't know why that's even coming through, because that's why most or all divine masculines stay away from their twin, because they don't want their twin to be around that kind of energy. You know, they don't want to bring them down and, you know, feeling shit if they're feeling shit or whatever. And that's what, you know, again, sometimes flames can find hard to understand. Like, why would they like stay away for so long if they liked me that much? But that is what twin flame love is like. It's like you just have so much respect and love for that person that I've said it before and I'll say it again, you just want them to be happy, even if that means without you. That is real love. It is real love. I don't care what anybody says, that's real, true love. Because you can spot when it's not that, because that's people that's like, I have, you know, they're not going anywhere, or like, you know, people that like kind of monitor where their boyfriend or their girlfriend's going. That's codependent and toxic, and definitely not twin flames. So, right, anyway, going into a bloody teaching lesson. In the subconscious of the divine masculines, what do you need to know? With all that being said, oh my God, I never even told you the lighter story. So basically, the gist of it is, before I start going way over it somewhere else, that one's running on empty, and I'd barely say running because is it lighting again? Oh, look, see, how funny though, how funny. I swear, when I was trying to light the candle, it wasn't lighting at all, and they were telling me the divine masculine's just like out, you know, no energy. And I know that's true because a few of the women in my group were like saying, yeah, just no energy. And I was like, that's funny, because that's how I was at the weekend. Like I was happy, I was actually really quite content and calm, but I was like a little snail in its shell. I was just like in my bed the whole time. And you'll know that if you watched the one that I filmed on Sunday there, which I know, thanks for letting me know, that helped a few people. So yeah, but I'm still going to stick with the message. It's like that felt to me like the divine masculine. So then I had to go through and get the other lighter from the kitchen, which has got a wee bit more energy in it, but not much. So I can see that this is so funny. Like, I'm reading with lighters today. I'm reading with the flame lights, the green and the red flame lights. So the root chakra and the heart chakra. It sounds like I'm joking. It's probably totally serious. Yeah, but it's like the divine masculine needed a bit of energy from the divine feminine today, because the divine feminine lit the candle, but then actually when I lit the candle to give the energy, the other lighter started working. Oh, he's gone again. She. But it's like, do you know what I'm saying? So it's like but with what I channeled about as well, that it's like it's the divine masculine's time to go first within my filming. So it's the divine masculine's place to to step up and go first now. I love it. Right, okay, anyway. I know it's taking ages. So this probably is going to be an hour because we're on 35 minutes. In the subconscious of divine masculines, twin flames and separation, and then we'll do twin flames that are together. Just for shits and giggles, just for a wee bit of a change, guys. Right, so I don't know. I don't normally use that. Oh my god. I don't know if that'll mean so. I bet you somebody, I've actually, do you know what else I'm going to do towards the end? I'm going to do messages from loved ones in spirit, because when I've done the divine masculine one in particular, I was picking up on loved ones in spirit. I've got my mediumship cards. So I wonder if somebody used that term just for shits and giggles, because I say it sometimes, but I don't say it that much. It was just funny how that came in there. Right. In the subconscious of divine masculine energies that are in separation, whether that means you haven't spoke to them in a million years, like that could be that you've never met them, but you haven't spoke to them in a very long time, or it could even be months, but it's feeling like an eternity, or it could be that you're in and out of communication, but it's kind of small talk, and you're not really taking the masks off, kind of like acting like you're not the other half of each other's soul. Whatever the deal is there. What's going on in the subconscious? Moldavite. Yeah, see, you don't even need to read what it says. Big changes. That's what this full moon, new moon, oh, no mistake. So full moon in Scorpio on the 16th of May, 2022, if you're watching this, like in the future. That's going to be, a big one. A big one for everyone, because regardless of what your sign is, Scorpio is about the brutal truth. I've got the most, out of all the signs, I've got the most Scorpio in my chart, and it's how I get down to the bottom of things. I also consider Scorpio, the most shamanic sign. So it makes sense that I was guided to be a shaman. But again, I wasn't guided to be a shaman. I might have went and fucking done all the shamanic training and stuff, but I literally was born a shaman. Do you know what I mean? It's like I've been interpreting dreams and shit since I was a kid. But basically, I really do feel this is about the big changes that have been going on, but like just the change that's going to, for the next 6 months, a shitload of change in divine masculine energy and divine feminine, because the eclipse energy carries for 6 months. But because I said full moon by accident, no accident, serendipity, it's just sort of giving a wee bit of a heads up that building towards that energy, if you're not being true to yourself, if you're still keeping the masks up, wherever in your life, whether it be your twin flame or anyone in your life, the masks are going to be slipping if they've not slipped already, and you're not going to be able to keep it up. And the energies that we're in, it's like, Scorpio is a brutal truth, and it's pain as well. So it's going to be even more painful for you than what has been already if you don't be true to yourself. Your unique qualities are an important part of your life purpose, and it's okay to feel and be different from others. Well, that feels really special, because that's what I feel that one of the hardest part for, all twin flames, regardless of whatever one you fall into more. Because twin flames are different. We are different. And people notice, whether it's like, they can't, it'll just be like they can't quite put their finger on it. But in these times that we live in now, you really can't hide it. And the divine masculines out there that have been activated, or definitely if you're sitting watching this, like a twin flame video, it's like you've got at least some awareness that you're on this journey, even if you're just you're new to it, you're trying to work it out, or if you've known about it for a while and still try to process and get your head around it. Right, I was watching, I wondered when that was good. I can't remember if I did. No, I don't think I did bring that in it. Right, I was watching a film. Was it the weekend, or was it before that? No, I think it was like midweek. I think it was like probably like, a week ago. Can't believe that was a week ago. That was crazy. But whatever, right? I was watching this film, and I was meditating in the bath before I watched the film, and then I was hearing that I was going to get, that happens all the time with me. Songs are just everywhere all the time, anywhere, everywhere. But anyway, this song that was channeled was, here I go with the films to describe the scenarios. I wondered when that was going to come in. But I don't want to sing it, but I think I'll have to sing it. or I can just say it. So the song is basically like thinking over, right? This feels like this is meant to be for, anyway, it doesn't matter, right? I was good, maybe this should have been the Divine Feminine one, but whatever. See again, overthinking, like, see, this is why I need to close this down and come out of the Divine Masculine Collective, because this is just like, this is too much. Like, this is the stress you put upon yourselves. Like, I just can't. I need to come out of this. Not yet though. But it's kind of like, yeah, the song is like thinking over the things that you said. And basically the whole song just keeps repeating it. I'll put it in the comments, right? Thinking over the things that you said. It's from Raising Helen, right? I watched this film, I don't know, when I was a teenager, and I just fucking loved it, right? It's really sad. It's actually really sad. But it's got a wee bit of romance in it, and it's got other stuff in it. But anyway, I'm an old soul, right? So I can't remember what age I would have been when I watched this, but when I watched it, I loved it because there's so many bits in it that are about having to grow up. And that's basically in that film, Raising Helen. Like, she's the auntie, and she has to, like, spoiler alert, but she has to take over. She has to become the guardian of her, or like her nephew and her nieces, because something happens. So anyway, but it's all about, like, she's part, so it's all right. So what I got from it, this is so crazy, but I knew they were going to make me use that. What I got from it, which is what always seems to happen when I watch films, it's not that, like, when I watch the films, it's never that the guy is the Divine Masculine and the woman is the Divine Feminine. It's always, it's always the other way around. But it's, yeah, she was like, it's like she was portraying what the Divine Masculine energies either still do or did at one time. I feel for most people I'm channeling for, it's did at one time. And it's just kind of like, she's a party animal. And, she's, like, you see her hooking up with a guy one night and just kind of like, and just not her boyfriend, just kind of like, a hot guy. And it's kind of, just living the whatever, like the footloose and fancy free, whatever you want to call it. I sounded so old. That's so funny. I sounded so old when I said it like that. Right, whatever. But then you see, as if I won't ruin the whole film, but it's kind of like, but also there's bits where she's not taking responsibility as well for things. And it's like she leaves it to her older sister to give the kids a row. And that I found interesting too, because it's like, again, it's like not taking personal responsibility for things, or not wanting to be the bad guy, like not wanting to, good cop, bad cop. Like, she wants to be the cool auntie, but she doesn't want to be the one. And so, right, like, now they're, the way they're delivering this message is that it's about kind of like Divine Masculines have went on this journey of picking people that don't challenge them, definitely in romantic connections, but like with anyone, like just being around people that don't challenge them to be who they're really meant to be here. But this is from one card. I've so far pulled one card in 43 minutes, but like, they don't challenge them to be that different person, to be that unique person that they came to be. Whereas that's why twin flames, your twin flame triggers you, because they'll not like, they'll just encourage you to be your best self, because that is the nature of the Divine Feminine, is they're always hungry for more and wanting to grow and learn and share and teach, for those of us that are guided to teach. So it's like, for anyone that's around the Divine Feminine, they're going to grow and learn and thrive. And a lot of Divine Masculines didn't want to grow and learn and thrive. They wanted to be footloose and fancy free, like the women in that film. And they wanted to just do what they want to do, whether that was some Divine Masculines like going off and being with whoever they wanted to be with when they wanted to be it. So that would be talking about late, earlier on in some people's lives, for depending on what age you are. Or it could be now, people that are finding this that are young, whatever. It's not really got into age, it's more like the sort of the feeling. But anyway, so that, I didn't even mean to go into a fucking analysis of the whole film, but it's quite interesting when I do that, something I think. But like, other people have said it's interesting, which is more important too, but again, it does entertain me too. But it's more that film, I'll put it in the comments, right? And it's just, I remember when I used to watch it when I was younger, I loved it, because it's actually, there's a bit where I'm telling you the whole plot of the film. So sorry if you haven't seen it, but why haven't you seen it? Especially girls out there, if you're watching this, or women. It's a chick flick. But it's like, there's a bit in the film where she's pushing the guy away. And it's so funny because the guy is a priest, right? So it's like, he's like, could it get any more kind of, oh God, do-gooder? So she's like, being a girl about town, if you get what I'm saying. And it's like a party animal. And she's like, oh, for fuck's sake, do you know what I mean? I'm falling in love with a fucking minister. No, what is he meant to be? A pastor. But he's a pastor that can have sex and that. So it's not somebody that can't, you know, get on and everything. But it's Aidan from Sex and the City. So, you know, ladies out there, you know what I mean? I know we wanted Mr. Big, but Aidan was pretty hot too. But it's kind of like she's pushing him away. So it's like something bad's happening. She's like, you know, I'm no good. I'm no good as a mom. I'm no good as an auntie. I'm no good as a person, you know, and she's pushing him away. And then you're like, oh no, you know, it's that bit of the film. And then anyway, right, then when that song comes on the film, it's when she's taking some time to feel sorry for herself. And then she's like, I'm being a dick. And then you just see it, that song's on the background and you just see her going to him. And like, oh, I can't remember. It's like, I think she just, it's quite nice to me. She just goes up and doesn't say anything and just kisses him. And it was like, when I was watching it, time's up, interested. I knew that was going to go off. It's like time's up for divine masculines that know they're at that bit. With one card. It's like, that's why. It's like, but this is actually, I don't know what I'm going to tell this because this is more a message for divine feminines. It's like the channeled message that I got that was going to resonate for a lot of people was, you divine masculines out there are thinking over the things that have been said, whatever that means, whether it's thinking over the things that have been said along all the years or all the time you've known each other, if you haven't known each other that long, or Amber took it to mean that the divine masculines are processing all the information before they come forward, basically, because that's the nature of divine masculine energy, whether you're a man or a woman, quite, you know, logical, analytical. But yeah, I just thought it was so amazing because like you say, I don't know if to meditate like in total silence, but I was at my mum and dad's and I was just like, they weren't in, and I was just guided to just do that. And it was just that I was told, like, you know, you're going to get a message in this film. I was like, right, okay, I just closed it. And it was just the way, like, it did kind of give me total chills. And I knew I was going to share it at some point. But anyway, I just know that'll make sense to someone. So it's just that divine masculines are taking the time to think over the things that have been said by their divine feminine. And you could be like, well, how the fuck do they know what I've said when they've not spoken to me? but in that case, it would just be those divine masculines that have found other divine feminines channeling messages and putting the puzzle pieces together in that way. Do you know what I'm saying? Or it could be those of you that are in some kind of communication. Sorry, my contact lens is going totally clouded. See what I mean? Now my vision's going clouded. I can see clearly now. It's got, yeah, see, that's one as well. Right. But yes, in the subconscious, it's like divine masculine is screaming to be yourself. You are screaming to be yourself. Your unique qualities are an important part of your life purpose. It's okay to feel it and be different from others. And I just feel you've reached that maturity level of being like, do you know what it actually reminds me of, right? It reminds me of a boyfriend I had when I was very, and again, not too many people can claim that they've actually been my boyfriend. And if they did, it would be like, I'd be like far too young and it's almost like, you know, does it really count? But I do remember a scenario happened where this guy was just acting totally cool in front. And but again, this actually applies for, it applies for everyone. I know it's going to make sense to everyone at some point in their life. Where like, you know, he was just showing off all his time, and you know, it was all about the friends, and the friends could do no wrong. And I just kept saying, like, you know, one day you're going to regret like just going along with what your pals say all the time, and you know, sticking in with cooling the gang. And then actually losing the people that care about it, right? And anyway, as a lot of people do, just ignored the fuck out what I said. And yeah, absolutely. And you know, with that, you know, same pit, and again, I'm not mentioning what kind of ages I was. So this, I could be talking about something at primary, I could be talking about high school, earlier years, or I could be talking about later. But you know, what I'm going to say about that is, yeah, like, you know, the same sort of friends that this guy was trying to like keep, you know, cool with and all that. Like, I can probably count like on both hands the amount of his friends that tried it on with me, and still would actually if I seen them on a night out and they were, you know, single. But okay, sometimes that doesn't even matter, does it? But it's kind of like, yeah, I can think of specific scenarios where like an apparent, you know, close friend, I was, you know, tried it. And I've said this before, but it's true. So it's kind of like that example is a good one. I've just ripped my nail off there. Don't know what that's got to do with it, but it's kind of like, I suppose the point of saying that is, you know, be careful who you're like trying to impress and stick in with and keep in with certain groups and certain friends, because some of those friends might be like pretty, you know, they wouldn't really care about sticking the knife in, as what I'm feeling that's about. So again, I don't know, that's interesting because I was channeling, there's stuff coming like that up in my group. It was more about like watching your back with it. Yeah, well, actually, it was watching the back with the friends around, watching your back with your friends around you. And I did feel it was more for divine masculine energy rather than divine feminine, because like I say, I feel I've went through all of that and learned the hard way too. But yeah, so anyway, wherever that resonates about, you know, you may as well just be yourself now, because I think like if you look back on, well, basically it's kind of like you don't want to look back on your life. Do you want to look back on your life 10 years from now and be in a different place and think, fuck, I wish I'd just done exactly what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, rather than falling back into fear and doing what everybody else wanted me to do or thought I should do, or doing the right thing. It's like that book. I think I've said it before, but in fact, I'm going to put that back and shuffle for divine masculines and union. But it's called, you know, whatever, the top 5 regrets of the dying. And it's like, you know, a nurse interviewed all these like older people in nursing homes and whatever, and kind of like they all said like pretty similar stuff about like not taking a chance when they had it. So that's, I'm just like wondering why the hell the example about that. But yeah, no, I do get it, because it's like I was very, very young when I said that to that boyfriend at that time, but I was right. Like again, because I've always been like this, I've always been like a channel. But I could see exactly what was happening, was that he was trying to be the cool dude and not recognizing that actually his friends are kind of almost kind of laughing at him behind his back. Do you know what I mean? And like they're taking the piss out you, and I've actually got your back and you're not seeing that. And when you do realize that I've got your back, it's going to be too late. And that was absolutely the case for that guy. So do you know what I mean? And that's what I feel, that's so interesting, because that totally isn't my divine masculine. Fucking far from it. But it's like that could be, a lot of divine masculines could resonate with that too, where it might have been something kind of similar, actually very probably similar. You know, like it could be that your divine masculines allowed other people to say things about you or whatever, and played things down. And then that could kind of be quite something, because it's kind of like just wanting to stay in with everyone, being everybody's friends, but then you're actually losing the people that really care about you and have your back. It's a little bit like when I said in one of last week's videos or the one before that when, you know, I would always be told, and this was before I was doing it professionally, but I would be told in a lot of readings and that, like, you know, your friends are forming a bit of like a wall. I didn't say this actually, but it's coming through now. They're forming a bit of a wall around you, and it can be quite hard for, that word's coming to me, but yeah, it can be quite hard for like someone to penetrate. Not like that, guys, but do you know what I mean? Like, you know, like it can be quite, and I'm like, why does that keep coming through? But I kind of, you know, I do get it now that I'm older. It's like, you know, because I was so shy, I was keeping all these friends around me, and that could be quite intimidating for any guy. It's quite exhausting too. You're like, fuck, I can't even get to her for all these girls. Do you know what I mean? It's like, but it came in handy too. It's like all my friends would say, it's like I've got fuck off stamped on my forehead. And yet that's the Saturn in Scorpio and the Mars in Scorpio in the first house. And I'm proud of it. Most of the time, more than not, it came in handy. Do you know what I mean? The right people read it right. no, the wrong people read it right. The right people will know that that's only for the people that it's for. Right. Divine masculine and union, what's in their subconscious? Spiritual and religious. Oh my God, that's the one I didn't put up. We'll publish that at some point. I've done one for primarily twins in union, and I haven't published it yet. But it's just because it didn't feel the right time to publish it yet. So this says spiritual or religious community, join with like-minded people for friendship and increased spiritual growth. So divine masculines, that you are in a relationship with your twin flame. It's like, again, see what I mean about the thing for, I didn't say it in this video, but I've said in other ones, the thing that I've observed is the issue or the thing that is being healed with twins in union is their own self-love, like their own self-worth, their own self-love. So it feels like for the divine masculines and the ones that are in union, it's like they're being called to dig into their spiritual side more, or be with more like-minded people, or perhaps people that kind of can see the crazy shit that's going on in the world and like see through it. Or again, because this is for twin flames, like being kind of guided to see if there's sort of like other men that are twin flames that, you know, that they can resonate with, because there is other men out there that get this journey. But yeah, so hopefully you get that right, that and divine intervention is on the bottom. God sends miracles to answer sincere prayers. And again, so I feel that's just as simple as give it to God. This is interesting because it's the exact same cards came up in my group. So for divine masculines in union, and I'm saying in union, but this could also resonate for divine masculines in separation that are about to be in union with their twin flame. It could make sense too. So you'll know, but it's about, you know, finding people of like mind that are going to get what you're going through, whether it's spiritual awakening or more specifically the twin flame journey. And again, if you're led to get support from me, it's like, you know, well, there are other guys watching, they might not all be chatting in that, but eventually, hopefully they do start talking more and coming out of the woodwork. They will, I'm being told, but not yet. It'll filter it, people will come out slowly. Again, I'm Aries, right? So Aries lead the way. So it's like I'm waving the flag of, hey, I'm a twin flame. There's a lot of people, but like, hey, I'm a twin flame. And then other people will come. So it's like, yeah, but divine masculines in union are about to want to be around people that get it, like-minded. So put it out for divine intervention, you know, give it to God, let go and let God. Take a deep breath and exhale, release the situation to God for healing and answers. But that can just mean like, let go. If you're stressing out about it, just ask for a sign or ask to be led to people that are going to get it. And, you know, look out for the sign. And now I know why this needed to be so long, and you needed to hear the story of me saying about me asking something in meditation. Actually, it was rather than asking, I was told in my meditation, you're going to hear something in this film that's going to answer what you want to know. And then that song came on, and I really kind of actually at the time I was thinking about what the fuck's that going to be, because that's like on nothing to do. But again, it can show up anywhere. So right, and then the ones that are God, this is going to be like 90 minutes or something, but that's fine. Like I say, it's like a therapy coaching session, this video. This is why this will, I know I keep saying it, but I can see me moving this to Patreon, because this is a lot. That's a lot of good info that I'm giving. Can't accuse me of not sharing. What was I going to say? Yeah, and divine masculines in separation in the subconscious, because remember, that's what is the hardest nut to crack, is your subconscious. So if in the subconscious it's like you're being guided to face that it's okay to be different, in fact it's a good thing, it's a great thing, then that is very promising for twin flames that are in separation. Means you're accepting what's unique about you, and you're not needing to be one of them. That's why I can see why that example of anyone that wants to stay with the group, it's kind of like when I've given that, oh, that's a brilliant one. The example of when I've given it about normal people, you know, that series, and it's like, I mean, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it kind of is. But in that series, it's like they're all at high school, and the guy and the girl are totally in love with each other, very twin flamey, but it's a big secret. Except, oh yeah, I will say that, but there's a big secret, right? And then it's a real, actual, big, massive part of the story, to be honest. So I don't really want to go into that too much. Watch it for yourself, your twin flame, because it would be very helpful. Trigger warning, very triggering, but for loads of different reasons. But like, it's got some scenes in it and that you're like, oh God, I'd rather not see that, but whatever. And I'm not talking about the sex scenes because whatever, like, but it's not that. It's like there's some other stuff in it. It's like, oh shit, that's not. I was like, I can't watch this shit. And then it's just upsetting for other reasons. But then it's like they go to college and it's like none of that shit matters. And actually, I think it's like the guy's going to a funeral or someone they used to know. And it's like one of the guys like, oh, do you still see Marianne? And that's the twin flame. And he's just kind of like, he's like, you do know that we knew that you were basically shagging. Do you know what I mean? Like, but the whole point is like, whenever I saw that, I thought, wow, that's a great example of the one that I just gave. You think it really matters at the time, is stay in with all the cool people. And then actually, before you know it, you blink and your life's moving on and you realize, I shouldn't have done that. Do you know what I mean? And that can go for romantic relationships, twin flames, absolutely. But that can also go for friendships. It's like any friends that are still in my life, like I say to people all the time, it's whether it's well, that kind of thing about picking up stones. While you're picking up stones, you've lost a diamond or whatever it is, or be careful who you spend time with, because you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. All these things are relevant, but there's this real theme here for divine masculines, especially today, because I know from channeling my group, about being very, very careful about the company that you keep. Wow, that's a very strong message, right? So consciously, let's see whether you know or not. Those of you that are resonating with this. Oh my God, shit. I think you've just, wow, that's blown my mind. This is worth it being longer, because I find this fascinating. So I haven't used these cards in ages, right? Look what, that's blown my mind. Look what I've just pulled. See, for the people that get this, you'll really get it and you'll be mind blown. For the people that don't get this, it actually probably isn't your message. I'm not meaning to be like blunt. I know it's coming out good, but I am blunt, so I can't apologize for that. That's who I am. But as Venus is in Aries, I've got Venus in Aries. I'm being very passionate right now, but it's true. But it's like, this is fascinating me, because if this is your message, it should be like, how the fuck did Claire know that? And again, it's because God is watching and God is speaking through me right now, or source, or great spirit, divine, whatever you want to call it. The guides, community and broken heart, right? So if I pulled broken heart up, right, I'd be like, shit, that's going on right now, and I don't know that you as a divine masculine knows that. But because I've pulled broken heart in reverse and community, I feel you are brokenhearted about that community breaking down. And to me, community is mean, and then it makes sense why. So this again, and this I'm not going to decipher, because I'll be here for fucking hours. I'm not going to decipher whether this is for a divine masculine that is with their divine feminine, or like divine masculines that are not with them yet, because it really doesn't matter. I feel this is going on for both. I feel divine masculines that are already in union, already with their twin, are going through the bit of finding out who's the fake friends and who's the real friends, and if there is even any real friends around them anymore. Because in that example I gave of the past, well, I don't know, because they're not in my life anymore. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't be surprised, you know what I mean? Yeah, if it's like that guy probably hasn't got any of the same friends, that really wouldn't surprise me. But it's kind of like, there's a bit of being let down, a bit of brokenheartedness, a bit of being let down by friends. But I actually want to read them to see what it says. So and then I've just opened the book right at broken heart, so crazy. So I'm going to read it in reverse, because we pulled it in reverse. The broken heart reverse marks a time of renewal and hope. The pain and trauma are behind you now, and you can trust that greater joy is on its way. Whatever has happened to hurt you in the past, you're now free to move on. And that's been a strong message coming through for clients. And I think it came through Although there was a lot of sad energy in the last one, I think it did come through. The universe has much better things in store for you. So finish letting go of any residual grief and open your life to your new self-loving intention. Joyous connections will follow. And the joyous connections that will follow Divine Masculine will be with your twin flame. And it says, I release the pain of the past and live with compassion for myself. Love heals and renews me now. Storm Warning's the next card, but we didn't pull that. And so, and 9 is endings. And like saying eclipses is like an eclipse is like an ending and a beginning, because it brings a lot of change. And then community. This card shows 3 women celebrating, sharing ideas and supportive energy. The lights in the picture represent your ever-present spirit community as well. When this card appears upright, and also that's why I was guided to use them. And look, I'm itching my nose, and those of you that know me, and if you don't know me, when I itch my nose, it's specifically loved ones in spirit. This card appears upright. It indicates an association of some kind. It may be a casual connection of like-minded people, joining a club or community of some sort, even a business partnership consisting of 3 or more entities. The time is right to make such new connections and share intentions, whether they're personal or professional. This is 2 things, right? I'm going to read the rest of it, but this is about... That's so funny. It's like I'm seeing that fucking skit thing that's like, do you want to form an alliance with me? And then it's like someone's like, yes, I do. But it's like, it's like, I think I've seen it on YouTube or something, but it's like on one of the, anyway, you'll either know it from one of the platforms, but it's just basically like people mime it. But it's like I'm getting like, that's what you'll do with your twin flame. And it's probably because of all the backstab, the betrayal, the realizing that your community just ain't your community, probably haven't been for a long time. Or it's just kind of like, yeah, breakdown of friendships. Like I say, I've went through it all myself. And thankfully, I've still got amazing best friends around me, but a lot of shifting and changing and moving and grooving as well. I don't know why I said moving and grooving, it ain't been fun. But do you know what I mean? There's been a lot of changes in my life in that way, and realizing who's got my back and who really hasn't. And some of it, you know, was, just anyway, big changes. So it's, and see what I mean, how you can see how, although I'm divine feminine, I've went through a lot of what the divine masculines went through. And sometimes it's not so far apart. Sometimes it's fucking years apart, and sometimes it's like a year apart, or sometimes even months apart. It depends what kind of things we're talking about. But if I hadn't read the book, it's just about broken-hearted because of a group of people around you. So that doesn't even need to be friends. It could be like even like those of you that surround yourself with lots of your family or extended family, or karmics, like, I mean, because a lot of people's karmics, this again, I say this all the time, but it's just so that people understand, your karmic doesn't need to be like your romantic partner or your ex-romantic partner. Karmics can be like it can be like a friend or a family member, or like a job that you're devoting so much time to, like something that's getting in the way of your twin flame connection, you know, or just you moving and growing and bettering as a person. It's like what I said earlier, it's like, you know, when someone's karmic, because as soon as they're not in your life anymore, you're actually not stuck where you always were. Like, and that's what it can even be quite sad when you realize that wherever you weren't able to, and think about it, there's been a lot of messages about stuck energy at the start. If you were finding that you just weren't ever able to move in a certain area, and as soon as you break away from these certain communities or groups of friends, you're either soaring, which I don't know if that's worse or better, but you're soaring. You know, it's better because you're soaring, but it's kind of worse because you're like, shit, like being around those people is really not good for me. It doesn't mean that they weren't good for you ever, but it just means they're not part of your journey now, and it's good to realize that. And that's kind of, the message that's coming through repeatedly here. And it's funny because this means 3 or more entities, meaning like, you know, people, but I'm looking at the word entities, and it's like a lot of the people around you. I don't want to go too deep into that, but again, I am a shaman. A lot of divine masculine energy out there. Like you will have a lot of entities around you, like people that are carrying dark energy in them. You know, like entities have attached to the person. It's not so much the person, but depending on the bits and bobs and the things that people are getting involved in, they've soaked up a lot of negative energy around them, dark energy, and it's changed the person, and therefore the person is being influenced to push you down certain routes in your life that aren't going to be good for you, whether it's towards your twin flame or not, but it'll always be away from your twin flame. And like I say, when these certain people aren't in your life anymore, or you create boundaries, you'll realize the road ahead's a lot smoother in business or twin flame, whatever the problem was. Network and community are important parts of the human experience, and the security and sense of connection can be beneficial to all. It's true that when several people join their intentions, it accelerates their power in the energetic realm. But this is also like when I pulled for the divine masculines that are with their twin, about like being with people that like-minded, soul family. Receiving this card puts you on notice that the universe is sending some beneficial alliances your way. Like the happy family card, this could also indicate a party or celebration of kind. Again, I feel that's about unions consciously. Wow, I actually get what that means. The divine masculine, you are wanting to put your broken heart behind you, whatever broke your heart, whether it's another person, a group of people, just things happening that are nothing to do with you, whatever, broken heart of some kind, to move towards your people. And one of your people is going to be your twin flame eventually. And I just looked at 111 when I said that on the timer. Right, so in your heart space, and in the heart space, I've actually got more sort of lovey-dovey ones. So there's still a lot of Pisces energy around right now. We've got passionate Venus in Aries. So let's see. In fact, I'll use those message cards. Will I? No. Your divine feminine. Will I do it like that? Yeah, your divine feminine wants to say this to you, or it's just a bit of guidance in the heart space. Oh God, and that card's in the wrong place. Just being near you is intoxicating, and that card wasn't even meant to be in that deck. So that's what your divine feminine wants to say to you, is just being near you is intoxicating. So that's why some of them ironically don't want to be near you. So that can be like what I've said in other videos, that some divine feminines, never mind some divine feminines, some divine masculines would do that too. I think it's more a divine feminine thing. And it's not even all divine feminines, might just choose to completely like take you away from any, you know, they may even go to extremes to block you on things because you just don't. But again, some will block in a different way of just coming completely off platforms. But it's, or not being your friend on certain things or whatever, but it's not because they don't want you in your life. It's rather because it's just, you know, too much to see it if you're not in each other's lives in the way that you want to be. And then I'm getting flashed the raunchy pictures on the back of these cards when I'm saying that. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are. There's no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. Guys, I'm not being funny, right? And see when I'm saying guys, I'm not necessarily meaning men, but if the right people are finding this, there will be a lot of guys watching this. And well, actually right now, it would more be like women and that resonate with divine masculine energy, but whatever. That first reading that made it sound like, it totally sounded like a line out that Katy Perry song again, Unconditionally, because I'm sure she actually says, except that she does. There's a line in that song that's like that. And like say, I said that in another video, but that song is like totally, yeah, it just is. It's like, you know, it is the channel, I suppose it is the perfect channeled song, or one of them, to a divine masculine. Like, just come here. You know what I mean? Like, I love you unconditionally. Like, forgave you ages ago. Just come and see me. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's what it says to me. But like, you have to accept that within yourself first, I suppose, as a message, right? But it's kind of like this. Think about it. This is from your divine feminine. There is no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. So it's divine feminine saying divine masculines, I've just accepted that you don't want me anywhere near you. You don't want me in your life right now. And that possibly has been for years or something, for a very long time, or for months for some of you, or for a year. Like, I know some people it's literally just been months, but they've been absolutely devastated. Like, you know, like, so again, I'm just being mindful, it's different for different people, but it's some Some people got a bit tougher than that, though, you know what I'm saying? But it's not a competition here, I'm just saying. But I'm being serious. Like it can be just as painful. I don't know about just as painful, but it's not. Yeah, it's basically that nails it. It's not a competition. It is just as painful, whether it's months or years. Like it is about being separated from that person is painful. Basically, pain is pain. But divine feminines are just saying, like, look, I've just accepted the way things are, and I'm just doing my thing. And but the thing is, and it's just funny that there's a feminine on the back of the card, but when you do that, that's when it gives things room to change, the situation to change. When you give someone a bit of breathing space, or a lot of breathing space, they'll find themselves. And if you really love them, you'll do that. And if you're not willing to do that, is it your twin flame? Do you really love them? Is it unconditional love? Probably not. Another one from your divine feminine, romance, Cupid's arrow strikes. Yeah. So look at this, right? The divine feminine is absolutely activating the divine masculine to wake up. It's time to wake up, and that alarm went off. Remember who you are. Remember who we are. Let's get the romance happening. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'll heal your broken heart. That's what I heard. You've healed your broken heart to the best of your ability. Now let me help you. I hide behind material things. Well, it could be the case for some divine feminines. Not all divine feminines are like me, that are like, I was about to say, I am totally not a hippie, but maybe I don't know where the fuck that was coming from. But yeah, hippie in the sense of like, I don't need a lot to be happy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm happy with the simplest. I think it's more shaman rather than, I don't know where hippie came from, but maybe somebody is like considers themselves a hippie watching this. But it's like, not all divine feminines are, some divine feminines could be doing that shit, like fancy cars and fancy clothes and bags and whatever. But again, even when I've had friends like that at certain points, like I've even been quite open about that. Like I've been like, look, I accept that about you, but that ain't my thing at all. Like I've always known, like, it's just a fucking bag. Do you know what I mean? And again, a lot of people are going to be like if you are one of those people that likes that kind of stuff, fine. But I'm not. Like, you can do that if you want to do it. But it's kind of like, I've always, like, I remember I used to say to a couple of my friends, it's like, it's not like I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have a designer bag because it's a designer bag. It's more like, I think a lot of them are ugly. Like, seriously, like a lot of them, I'm just like, I don't even care if these things are like 300, 400, 500 pounds. Some of them are more than that. They're fucking ugly. Like, and you can go and get a bag for still a decent amount of money. That is, I like plain. I suppose that's what it's about. Like, I like kind of like just sort of plain stuff. And sometimes I have seen like more kind of more designer handbags and that, and they are quite plain, like say like tan plain kind of, and they're quite smart. And I wouldn't not have it because it's a designer one, but I'm not the kind of person that's like, I'm not going to be like, oh my god, I'm so amazing because I've got this bag. It's like, if you need to be amazing because you have a bag, you need to worry about more in your life. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I don't know where that came from, but maybe some people do that. Maybe they are hiding behind material things, as in putting on a bit of a face about everything in my life's amazing, and maybe it isn't. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to think, like, have I done that at some points in my life? Definitely earlier on in my journey, I would have, like, well, fuck, actually, I can think of exact times that I would have done that on this journey. So probably, yeah, when I still had Facebook, there would have, oh my God, yeah, all the time. Like, I'd be going on nights out and it would probably look like I was really happy and everything. And this is so funny. I've just been drawn up to a card that says girls out on the town. So, probably would have been in a group photo or a photo of me and my pal or something. But behind that, I was fucking miserable. I was longing after my twin flame all the time. And, not every time, but a lot of the time, maybe after the end of these night, I was either really putting a face on, because like I would go and have fun, and then if I was going home alone, and I don't mean like a guy, I mean like, you know, a lot of time my pals would stay or whatever, but I mean some of the times it would be that, but like, you know, it's kind of like, it's well, even worse actually, and I spoke about that before. If it was a time when I was hooking up with somebody, really every time I've ever hooked up with someone that isn't my twin flame, it's just like, I'm like, that wasn't worth it. Do you know what I mean? Like seriously, like that is it, yeah, that is the feel, and that's when you know you're a twin flame. But it's kind of like, what I'm trying to say is I'm actually being shown a night. Oh, that's interesting. I'm actually being shown a night where I did go to a thing and my twin flame was there. And I was in that really weird, and I think I'd made an effort, look quite good that night. I remember seeing photos not that long ago. Anyway, right? Like it was some kind of dance night or something. And the point is, it's when I was getting really weirded out by my feelings and didn't really know how to handle the intense feelings, and didn't really know how to switch from, yeah, you're chill, I'm chill, whatever's going on here, do you know what I mean? It's not serious, you know, all that kind of pish. And so I was just like going the other way with it. Like I would just, you wouldn't even, like sometimes I've said like everyone would be able to tell that me and him liked each other, because that is true, right? But in other ways, it could really look like, more importantly to him, like I didn't like him at all, because I wouldn't even be saying hi. And just really confusing. But again, it wasn't because I didn't like him. It was because I liked him too much, and I knew that he wasn't ready to like me like that. And again, that's when it's kind of like a lot of people would just be like, just chill out in that. But I think it's quite hard to just chill out when you have fallen quite madly, badly in love with someone. Looking back on it, you know, when I look back on it now, it's like, yeah, that's what had happened. So basically, yeah, that night I remember, you know, my friend didn't come back to say, she went home, and I remember getting in, and again, you know, looking back, because I can look back, and again, like, sorry, say this fucking actually was about 10 years ago. Maybe 9 years ago, but I think it was 10 years ago. I think it was 10 years ago. But anyway, whatever, something like that, a long fucking time ago anyway. And I remember getting in, and I totally remember, like, I remember shutting the door, and I remember crying my fucking eyes out. I like say I've got photos of that night, and I looked fucking shit hot. And I wish I knew I looked hot, because I don't think I was very, I definitely wasn't very confident at the time. And I definitely didn't have any self-worth. But when I look back at photos, I'm like, Claire, you look hot there. You know what I mean? So I just tell my old I'm like, you look hot. You should have just, you know, said hi to your twin flame and got on the rest of your night, and, you know, see who else you attracted. but anyway, but yeah, I got in and I closed the door and I cried my fucking eyes out. It was horrible. That's how strong the twin flames are in the edge. They feel like that in the bits. And again, this is probably because this is definitely because I'm channeling for the divine masculine right now. As I'm holding the card, it says, sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. And this is from your divine feminine. And look what I'm doing, look what they're making me do. I'm like floating off into a dream, because it's not fun to think back, because there was loads of nights like that where I've like taken a deep breath, metaphorically, putting a face on it. I hide behind material things. It could, you know, could mean like I'm just, you know, putting a face on it. And then when it's time to, and like I say, sometimes it would be to my close friends, but sometimes I wouldn't even do that to them. I remember another night. Oh no, is this going to be one of the ones I don't publish? Oh, fuck it. Like I say, it's 90 minutes. If somebody's watching this deep, then you're either a twin flame and it's really going to help you, or you're a nosy fucker, or you're a karmic energy. And again, it's for somebody that's a nosy fucker or somebody that shouldn't be watching this, you then had to admit that you'd watched it. So we don't care. We're putting it out. It's going to help the divine masculines out there. Yeah, there was another night that I was on a club night kind of thing, and I remember thinking, you might be there. And there was always just that kind of, you might be there, you might not. And And then there was a wee bit of kind of like, I don't know if I want him to be there. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like the feelings are that intense, and it's like, it was exciting, but also like quite toppling, because you just don't know how someone's going to be. And it's not that he was never, don't know about never, but like it was not, he was never, well, he would never mean to be dismissive or that, but it was more like we would both just act like we didn't know each other or avoid each other. But before that, we wouldn't do that. We would just say hi and then got on with it. And anyway, there's lots of different parts of the journey. But yeah, this particular night, he wasn't there anyway. And then as soon as I sort of realised he's not there and he's not going to turn up, it's just, again, it's like what I said before, the fucking magic was taken out the whole fucking night. And so I just got even drunker. And on this particular night, one of my best friends was here that doesn't usually live here. That's my best friend. And some other ones were away partying and that. And because she is, like what I said in the last video, if I didn't know who my twin flame was, and you know, that was such a thing, which I don't believe it is, having a platonic twin flame, because twin flames are about the sexual union as much as the best friends and all of that. It's, yeah, that's who she's, like unconditional love for me, you know, and that's who I just let it all go with. And eventually, when you are in union with your twin flame, that's how you should be with your twin flame, by the way, regardless of whether you're the divine masculine or the divine feminine. When you know you've healed it, is you should be able to just burst out crying and just get a hug from your twin flame when you've went through the fucking rings of fire and all this shit. And that's why I suppose the warning's coming through about the next full moon, because it's a Scorpio full moon. That is the depths of the pain, you know, the deep stuff. And that's why I'm being deep now, because it's well, that's more because it's 0 degrees Venus and Aries 0 degrees, and that's, I've got Venus and Aries anyway, but it's my Pluto and Scorpio is 0 degrees actually, so that's why. And the Pisces is making me float off into Never Never Land as well. And I've got to watch because I've got my course in a bit, so I need to bring this to a close. But what was I saying there? Yeah, anyway, so the point, see, but this is my shadow not wanting to tell the story, but it's important I tell the story, because that is a good example of, oh my God, this is like, I'm amazed. I'm not amazed. I should be amazed at how my guides are putting this message across, but it's because divine masculines out there really need to hear stuff like this, that the lengths their divine feminine will go to hide their feelings as well, because a lot of divine feminines won't. I've said this, but a lot of divine feminines will hound their divine masculines. They'll text them, they'll call them, they'll, you know, chase after them. That's why it's called runner and chaser, which has never really resonated with me. Where it resonates with me is your energy chasing them. And I wouldn't even really say it like that. It's not a fucking choice. It's like there's been many times on this journey when I feel like, oh, but I fucking feel like this. Do you know what I mean? And then you just accept it, like that card, and then you just have to accept it. It's part of it, and then you get it. And you know, it's like these magical signs have followed me about the past plus 10 years, you know what I mean? And that's why I sometimes feel a bit sorry for people when they think that when they're seeing people's names and surnames and birthday numbers and special little synchronicities that you associate with someone, that means that they're coming like in the next couple of days or next week. It's like, maybe not, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it is just to remind you of the connection that you've got with your twin flame. But it just depends, because again, I've had that for the past, like I say, I've had that for the past 12 years, every day, several times a day, right to the fact that like that really made me laugh. I mean, and this has literally been for years, like everybody in my life, no, like even like everybody, I can't even, yeah, everybody in my life that knows me, that spends any sort of time with me, sees all these synchronicities. Like they see them when they're not with me, for me, and people with me see it all the time, and it's actually mind blowing. I can feel a lot of healing going to this. So I don't know that that's the same for my twin flame, but I feel sorry for them if it is. It's fucking unbelievable, basically. And for many years, I would think, maybe something's going to happen now. Maybe something's going to happen now. And then you just start thinking, fucking hell, man. Do you know what I mean? And it's just a part of your everyday experience. And you're like, oh, yeah, sure, yeah. Angel numbers, yeah. I don't call them angel numbers, or I call them activation codes, because that's what they are for your soul. But it's, yeah, all the fucking time. But I still get a wee laugh out of it. Like, so one day I was on the beach walking along, and a dog, you know what I'm going to say, a dog kept following me, and it was like trying to jump up on me, and it was quite excited, and it just like wouldn't leave me alone. And I was like, yes, this reminds me of when my twin flame was like that in his younger days, and I quite liked that he was like that with me, because I was quite shy and I needed that. And yes, when the person was calling on the dog to get off me, that's right, the dog was called my twin flame's name. So I was like, you just can't fucking make this shit up, right? That was the funniest one. And yeah, anytime I'm actually on the beach and there's kids playing and there's one name being shouted, and it's always his name, always. And it's just like, is anybody fucking seeing this shit? Fucking Truman Show. And then last week, the Asda delivery was coming, and it was like, so and so will be there between such and such and such and such. His name again. And yeah, you just learn to have a wee laugh at it. It's pretty funny. So yes, this is the Divine Masculine video. So I suppose I'm sharing that for Divine Masculines that are like, yeah, that is a thing. You're not going mad. You're not going crazy. That is a thing. But see how my shadow just totally went all over the place to not tell you that story that was quite meaningful, actually. That, yeah, basically on that particular night, I drank too much. It's really got nothing to do with that, but it doesn't help. I drank too much, and like, you know, my best pal just happened. She just sensed it. She just, you know, she's got a lot of Scorpio in her chart. She just sensed. She's very gentle, and she's not all about the partying and the drinking. Like, she can drink, but you know, it's. But anyway, and it's nothing wrong if people were, because again, my other friends were just enjoying their night. But what I'm saying is, it's like, she is like me in that way, that she's very selfless, and if she knows I'm upset, just as if I knew she was upset. Should I tell that? So yeah, because it's like, even like when I was a teenager, and my teenage boyfriend at the time was I was, can I be polite about it? Yeah, he was just being completely out of order, and I think he'd said something that upset me, so I started running away in my fucking ball gown, if you don't mind, because it was my leavers dance. And then he was running after me. I don't know why, because he put fuck all effort in the whole, anyway. And then she was running after him. So it was like, he was running after me and she was running after him, running after me. Do you know what I mean? It's like, she's that kind of friend. She's the kind of friend that as soon as, if you're not all right and you pick up the phone and you're like, she says, you're all right, you start crying, she'll be on the bus coming to see you. And that's the kind of friend I am as well. But also, I might add, that's kind of friend I was to a lot of people for a very long time. And sometimes I get the same back, and sometimes I wouldn't. And that's, you know, you learn the hard way like that. But it makes you who you are, so no regrets. And but that particular friend is very like that. I mean, she can tune into me even more than people that have been my friends like the same amount of time, like 20 years or whatever, or longer. She could always just sense the unspoken, and that's why I say it is a little bit like a twin flame, but a platonic sort of friend. But anyway, she just, I don't know why, but she said, she's like, Claire, and I was just like, yeah. And then she was just like, can I come in? And so she came in the cubicle, and I swear to God, I just burst out crying, and I was sobbing for, I don't even know how long I was crying. I was like, I don't even really want to tap into that, because it's quite upsetting when I think about it, but I was crying for a while, and I'd held that in for a long time. A long time. Like, and I just kept repeating the same thing, and I'm just trying to remember what it was. Oh, that's what it was. I just kept saying, I just miss him so much. I just kept saying, I just miss him so much. That's what I just kept saying. And I just couldn't stop. Oh my God, that's. Maybe this is. Yeah. Anyway, we'll pull away from that because it's like it is my own stuff, but I'm just tapping into it's the twin flames as a whole missing each other, but divine masculines are, a lot of them are in that energy of missing. But anyway, it's, yeah, I was just crying for like ages, and I just kept saying I miss them so much, and she just held me as I cried in her arms in that toilet cubicle. Think about it, there could have been everybody coming in. It was a dance event, so there could have been people coming in and out being like, hey, is that like Claire? She must be crying about it. So, do you know what I mean? I'm like, at that point I didn't care, I was pissed, and they, you know what I mean, as if people are going to know. But yeah, and it was just, but I actually think that was one of the healthiest things I've ever done for myself, because I can't believe all of that came out of that card. I'm like, I was going to say, I will publish this. And I was like, will I? Maybe it's for the Patreon. Nah, fuck it. I think I will just put it out there. But it's, see how I've pulled that back? It's like, I hide behind material things. For me, I'm tweaking that to mean like, oh shit, I can actually think of another night that happened as well. And that actually was where he was at the same place for a while. And we were both ignoring each other, and he was fooling around with someone else, and I was acting like I was fine with my friends. He was not giving a fuck anyway. But and anyway, that's part of the journey, right? But it's true. And well, it's kind of like when I say not giving a fuck, it's kind of like he was acting like he wasn't giving a fuck, but he could see me and he knew I was there and he couldn't handle it. That's to be more honest. See, that was me being funny too, but that's the truth of it. Couldn't handle whatever it was going on between me and him, and I don't actually feel that he really properly knew what. But yeah, same thing happened that night too. As soon as he was out of sight, I was in the toilet cubicles crying my eyes out, and that was with another one of my friends, and she was just, thank God, she's quite motherly like that too, and she was just like, just let it out. And that's the truth of it. Is that, look, I wish I could share my good news with you, and the truth of it is as well, whenever anything good happened in my life or still happens in my life, he's one of the first people I want to tell. And that really doesn't make any sense because we've not been in each other's lives for like such a long time. It actually goes for when something bad happens in my life too. That's who would make it better. You're the best thing in my life. I wish I could take my words back. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. This is getting a little bit intense. I feel like I'm fucking acting out a fucking drama, except it's my fucking life. Let's move on to the next one. But that could mean something too. But it's basically, yeah, I suppose that's just letting divine masculines out there know that I'm trying to shuffle the book now, that your divine feminine might act like she doesn't care, but surely those of you out there will know that that is not the truth, and it will just be to protect herself. Because that's happening. Separation. Time apart from your partners on the horizon. Fucking putting it mildly in my case and a lot of other people's, but you know what I mean? This is in the heart space. It's like a lot of I can feel that in my head. A lot of divine feminines, it's like they knew, even if you didn't know consciously, you knew on a soul level, this is going to go on for a while. Like, we're going to not be in each other's lives like this for a while. So it was easier to just oh God, I get what this is about. I'm going to actually put, and also, by the way, in the heart space, that could be divine masculine separating from other situations that they haven't pulled away from, or it could just be detaching more from karmic situations of other kinds. what I was going to say is it's kind of like, so this is interesting, but it's like I'm giving it from a divine feminine's perspective of, well, it's kind of like what I said in the last video, and it was the right word that I used. I said I'm an enigma, and I feel a lot of divine feminines are, but I definitely am all that Scorpio. It's like, well, it's not a secret now, is it? Like, you know, like, I've done a bloody good job of hiding it in some circumstances. That's what I suppose I'm trying to say. And although I wouldn't have fooled quite a lot of people, some people I really did fool, because I don't know if I've got examples of that, but I think I may put like on one of the nights I'm talking about there, another best friend did actually say, like, when I was just kind of like, how could you not know that was going to bother me? And she was like, well, because you always just, you know, seem like you're so strong and you can handle it. And, you know, like, but I was just kind of like, but you know me, and you know that I'm going to do that when he's there, because you're not exactly going to fucking break down crying in front of them when they're like, you know, come on, guys, we've got to have a little bit of fucking, you know, I don't know, everybody's going to protect themselves a little bit, or a lot. What I got from that was like, wow, if even your close people around you can't tell that you're really bothered when you are, you know, that's what Scorpio risings, and I actually feel my twin is Scorpio. I don't know that for definite, but it's like I would, yeah, I definitely feel there is a bit of that going on, because we're so good at hiding how we felt about each other from each other is the problem, from each other. But it's a weird one, because it's like you actually know how they feel in your heart, but when you were more in your head, you could sort of second guess it. But that's what's really bad about twin flame journeys, is like, actually, when you come away from the ego and overthinking it, it is just pretty simple. And if it's your twin flame, your true twin flame, you fancy the fuck out each other, as well as loving each other and all that. But again, the unconditional love and the romance may not kick in till later. Like, people can suppress stuff, men and women, for a long time. We're about to get to the 144 in the timer. It'll be interesting what I'm saying. So hopefully that got across the message. Honor your loved one, and you will notice your relationship becoming stronger. But look, with all that I've just shared, that is what divine masculines are ready. Divine masculines are ready to do that. And it doesn't mean divine masculines are not ready to do that or not doing the right thing or something. It just means they're still deep in the feels and they're trying to love themselves and work on themselves. But the ones that are ready are feeling the call to end that, to end the separation period, because they're over the worst now. Their broken heart is mended. They want to be with people who are like-minded, which includes you and the other nice people that are going to attract in their life, soul family. And they want to honor this connection and their deep feelings. Look deeply within to discover your soul's purpose and your relationships. Deep indeed. What else is in the heart space? Wait, this keeps coming up. Again, depending on what you're at, again, because there's some twins out there that, to me, this card is about the union. And union, if you think about it, marriage, some people don't believe in marriage, right? But marriage is simply union. So this is a sign of, it's about to get 144 when I'm saying this, but this is about, they want that with you, right? They want the union. So yes, some of them may have marriage on their mind at some point, but it's like some of them may not, because some of them might not believe in it. But it's about that. They want that with you. They want union with you. They want union. Your soul is preparing to reconnect. Trust in the process. I've just started talking like I'm talking to I've just realised I keep doing that, but you see, it's because the energies are so intertwined. I'm just looking at it, it's getting a 144 now. The telepathic bond is very, very strong. It always has been. It's just some people aren't, some people will second guess it more, but some people are really can feel it very strongly. 144 now. It might not be on this, but it is on my timer thing. Close soul connections are harmoniously synchronized, creating moments of telepathy. So a lot of the time you're thinking about them, they're thinking. So this is the thing: if your twin flame just suddenly starts popping in your mind, and you're like, oh, it's not like you're going to be like, why am I thinking about them right now? Because you might just be thinking about them, but sometimes it's because they're thinking about you. It really goes both ways. When you're thinking about them, they're thinking about you. When they're thinking about you, you're thinking about it. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain. But to say that again, divine masculines, you're over this separation. You want that to end, the ones that are ready. You want to honour the connection with your twin flame, even if that means just reaching out and being like, look, I'm not ready to meet, but can we talk? Because you're looking deeply at all your relationships and like analysing your life. You're going through a spiritual awakening, but you want the union. You do want the union when you're ready for it, because your soul is preparing to reconnect and you're just trusting the process of whether that's very soon or not too far away, because you can feel that telepathic bond and you're healing family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. And that can be about you're just recognising the generational healing that needs to take place. Right. So ascension message or spiritual is consciousness, self-awareness, personal realizations, prejudice. Well, that's kind of amazing, isn't it? Because that's what I just said. It's like on your ascension process in the spiritual, your consciousness is expanding, like, and that's why you're having these personal realizations about your life, more self-awareness. Let's just see what it says. It's 7. I'll just quickly glance at it. Cosmic Master Gwata Buddha reminds you to respect yourself and others. You must remember that respect is earned from the actions you take. Rise above the victim consciousness. Self-love, compassion, and understanding will assist in personal realizations while you seek respect from your family, employment, and social groups. Following in the footsteps of the Earth's cosmic master and taking a path to a higher level enlightened consciousness is time-consuming. Basically, it's talking about a higher understanding. You know, I actually missed a key part of that story. They're just guiding me to share. So, again, because I've known, you know, like my twin flames, well, I say been in my life, but like I say, I have known my twin flame a very long time. But you have to take away quite a lot of years as well from, you know, physically not seeing each other and being in each other's lives. But what I can say is, when the feelings kicked in there, like before other people were sort of involved, or, you know, whatever. Yeah, there was a particular time where, like, when I was one of these nights where I've gotten really drunk and I'm admitting my feelings to myself and crying to that best friend. Yeah, about a week after that very same night, he called me out of the blue, and like we hadn't spoke to each other. I can't remember how. Like, listen, like sometimes it's because we're talking like these stories are from ages ago. So, but we hadn't spoken to each other for a while. It felt like an eternity, and I have no idea whether it actually would have been a couple of years or months at this point, right? But the point is he must have felt me. He must have felt me that night crying out to him. And yeah, but then with the nature of the way that things go, when he called me, I never woke up. I never woke up. That happened a lot, by the way. See, even when we were younger, I remember once being, this really was a long time ago, but I remember being at a wedding and I've been, you know, drinking all day, getting drunk on the Prosecco. And I think I've told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again. I remember saying to a couple at the wedding, you know, this guy that I'm like, you know, that I see now and again, he's definitely going to call me tonight because it's a full moon. And they were like, what are you talking about? Like, and I'm just like, he doesn't know it's because of the film, but I bet he'll call me. And sure enough, he did. But again, I never woke up, like, because I was so drunk on the Prosecco. So it's quite funny because the point of that is, right, I always have not always, but most of the time have my phone on silent, right? And I still wake up when people send me a private message or a WhatsApp or a text, because I'm just so in tune with the energies and somebody's reaching out to me, like I hear them telepathically. But whenever he has done that, not whenever, but a couple of times when he has done that, and this was ages ago, I'm saying that because of when, like, if ever he was in a relationship or that, or, you know, it's this was all of the weirdness was going on with me and him before there was anyone else involved, trust me. But basically, yeah, those two particular times, I think I woke the time when it was a wedding, because that was when I was a lot younger, like, I woke up, I was like, oh shit, do you know what I mean? Because I really would have wanted to see him, but I woke up and I think it was morning by then, and the moment had kind of passed. But again, I would have wanted to see him. Do you know what I mean? Because I really liked him. I would have wanted to see him, but it was kind of like, then it was kind of like, this is kind of going out of like whatever territory that we're not in. You know, it was going out of the rules, the unwritten rules between us. And then yeah, and I can give loads of examples. Again, I don't want to throw him under the bus too much, but it's more of threw my fucking cell under the bus by telling that story, that, like the one about me crying in the cubicle. But again, what's the point in hiding it? Yeah, it's more the way that he would hide behind things is by making out he's phoning me drunk after a night out, but actually it was because he missed me. But he didn't, you know, I don't think he even knew that himself. I knew it, I could see it. But that was frustrating because he couldn't see it. And that's what, again, coming back to that card, I just accepted he can't see it yet. Like, I can see it, but he can't see it yet. So anyway. Wait a minute. Right, so. But yeah, that is an important one about when I've been crying about him in a cubicle, saying I missed him. And I know at this point, like, I know he actually wasn't with anyone as well. So that's why it doesn't really actually matter. I mean, being respectful to parties and that, you know, it does matter from a place of being respectful. And again, like for me anyway, because I will put it this way, it doesn't matter to me too much. Like, it matters in the sense of, if somebody doesn't want to speak to you or they can't handle speaking to you, why would you want to speak to them anyway if they're not wanting to? But it just, for me, makes it worse if they're with someone. Yeah, from my point of view, I shouldn't be speaking to them because they're with someone else. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I'm saying is, it doesn't even make any difference a lot of the time with twin flames whether they're with someone or not. Sometimes they just can't handle speaking to you because of the intensity, and it isn't because they're with someone else. But that's just for people that are, for whoever that resonates with. But yeah, that's a good example of the telepathy, like the card that I just pulled, that he must have sensed me crying out to him. And then it could have been that he missed me too, but like he's called me. Because again, and then when I asked what he wanted, he never replied, because that's the nature of these twin flame connections. And I was like, oh, fucking better let that go again then. But it's just an example of only I know. Oh no, I'm mixing up all these stories. Oh no, that is true. Yeah. So it wasn't the same night that I was crying, but it was a week later. And I was like, holy fucking shit. It wasn't a coincidence. Anyway, that's what these connections are like. But not all the time, because I bet you're sitting there thinking, God, there's loads of other times I've been upset and my twin flame hasn't picked up on it, but they probably have. They just probably haven't done anything about it. It just might be that they're sitting watching TV and they're like, why am I thinking about them? I hope they're all right. Like, I hope they're happy. Do you mean? And that's before you're at the part that you're probably on now. Right, anyway, I've been channeling for 2 hours and I'm fucking exhausted. What's a message from the divine feminine or a divine feminine or an energy to give to whoever's resonate with this message, even though it just feels like that was a bit of cathartic for me to share and get that out there. I'm joking. I'm not joking. It's not a joke, but it will have, I know it will also be helping people out there too. Even if it's just really, it's Venus and Aries 0 degrees, it's just to get across that this is a very vulnerable raw energy, and like say my Venus is in Aries, so I'm being used to channel that energy. But it's about, Aries is the warrior, and I've said this before, I could sit crying my fucking eyes out on this YouTube and you still wouldn't feel sorry for me because you will see how strong I am. I'm joking. Everybody's so empathic that tunes into me that you would feel it. But do you know what I'm saying? It's like, it feels like a lot of divine masculines really do need to know that divine feminines have hid their feelings in where, you know, if you were in public places like that, like the examples I've given, and it wasn't the truth, to protect themselves. Again, my divine masculine will know that. He knows that I'm a crier. Now I'm thinking another funny story, but you're not hearing that one. I think I've already told that, actually. I've actually already told it on a live or something. I'm sure I've told it. Fuck shit. Well, there we go. The message from your divine feminine, who just happens to be my energy, especially in the 0 degrees Venus and Aries. Joan of Arc literally is my energy, guys, especially today. Voice of truth. Stand strong. Focus on your purpose. Release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. But notice my inner divine masculine, divine feminine, I just spoke my truth in quite a raw and vulnerable way. And actually it feels quite fucking liberating. And so the message for you, divine masculine, is stand strong, focus on your purpose. That message will be coming through strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. So this is absolutely about speaking your truth to your twin flame, because not so much it's not for your twin flame, it's for you. Your twin flame's going to benefit from it because they're going to be happy about it, but it's for you. Like, release the fear that you're going to be persecuted for it. Because light activation, shine your light, your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear, because you're getting all the signs slapping you in the face. It's time to do it. And this is, now that this is how we're going to do it, because this is what you want to say to your twin flame when you reach out to them, or just what's going through your mind. The ones that are resonating with this. So that's not a coincidence that I just shared all that raw shit that I'm like, fuck, am I even going to publish this? And then I've pulled the one card in that. Not that there's a few cards that I resonate with, but that really is, it would be, I'd be a toss up between the Mary Magdalene and the Joan of Arc. But Joan of Arc, that card comes out for me all the time if someone's using that deck and they're doing a reading for me. So, and we're in a Gemini moon, right? Oh yes, we're in a Gemini moon. And that's where I've got a lot of my twin flame placements. And it should be uncomfortable because it's in my 8th house. So I'm meant to push past my comfort zone to share this message. I can't imagine my life without you. That's what divine masculines are currently thinking, or they might even say it to you, or they might have already said it to you. You are the one. I know we are meant to be together. But again, they may have taken a while to realise that. It might not even be that they've taken a while to realise it. They might have always sort of felt it or known it on some level, but it felt like it was too good to be true. Because I know that that's how divine feminines feel back about their divine masculines as well. I was conditioned to hide my feelings since childhood. Fucking motherfucker. Honestly. I'm not meaning about the card, although it's interesting the wording that I used. I bet that will be relevant to some people. But it's about it's because, well, I was just sharing how I hid my feelings. Even from people close, you know, from my I was hiding it from my divine masculine, because I'm not going to fucking break down crying in front of all these fucking people in front of him when he's, you know, he definitely wouldn't have been able to handle that. But actually, the thing that was the story that I can't remember if I've told it before, but generally, like the thing that was laughing at my head there was a night where I thought I think I have told it before, where I was so drunk and he'd got out of the taxi and went away for a pee. And I thought, I've told this before, but I'm telling it again because it's funny. And I thought he'd gone. So I started fucking crying in the street, as you do. I was pissed, right? And then he turned on, he was like, Claire, what are you doing? And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, what does he? I was too drunk to make up, so. And I was just kind of like, what? How? I thought you'd gone. And then, so mixed feelings, like, oh yes, he's not gone. And then he was like, I told you I was going for a pee. And I think there was just that many weird things that happened, and the drink was kicking in and the air, I don't know, right? Weird times. I probably had some shots or something. I definitely had a shot. And you can see why I don't drink. I did have a drink last weekend, but that doesn't count. That was a wedding and I hadn't drank for a year, and I won't be drinking again for a long time. But yeah, so anyway, when I was like, I thought he'd gone, I just was like, I think I just kept crying because I was like, I can't fucking handle this. And then he was just kind of like, and then what was it? I just was like, I don't know where it came from, but I just started being like, I was hyperventilating, and I was like, I don't, and this is the closest, by the way, I've ever come to telling him anything remotely like that I love him, because I haven't done that. Well, I have now if he finds this, but it's like, that doesn't count though. It doesn't count unless you've said it to the person. But I said, I don't love you, as I was looking up at him crying. And then he was just kind of like looked down at it and was like, are you sure about that? And then he just kissed me back. Do you know what I mean? It was, I think he either kissed me on the head or he kissed me back on the third eye. I'm pretty sure he would have known you were doing that. But you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, that's when I'm saying, like, they didn't know, but they knew. Do you know what I mean? Like, he knew that he knew that I had strong feelings for him, and he just knew he wasn't ready. That's really what it comes down to with me and him. But that would be what it is for, I feel, all twin flames, really. But also, there would have been at separate points where he actually did like me quite a lot. But even if he was ready, he wouldn't be able to show. But anyway, this is going far too deep in it. But you know what I'm saying? It's not just divine masculines. It's, I resonate with that too. We were conditioned by society to not show our feelings. That's why most couples that are in romantic couples can't show each other. I've said this before, can't show each other. Sorry, my foot's itchy, root chakra shit. Can't show each other how they feel. And that's the one when I've said that I really don't get that. But maybe it's just because when you've been separated from the one that you love for that long, you're going to be fucking telling them how you feel all the time and wanting to know how they feel all the time. My one's going to be sick of it. Whenever he does turn up, he's going to be like, oh my God, talking about our feelings again. I'm only joking. I don't want to talk about feelings all the time. I don't actually really want to talk that much with my twin flame, to be honest. And I don't just mean like that. I mean, like, I'd just be happy just being with him in his company. Right. I will never be happy if I can't be with you. That's what you divine masculines want to say to your twin flames. And this time around, I'll do things right. Please trust me again. I'm going to stop there because these are addictive. I've been through hell and back. Yeah, see, divine masculines have been through hell and back for whatever reason. For lots of divine masculines, it's all different sorts of reasons. Let's see, what area of life? I'm going to have to do the divine feminine one after my course because I've taken that long to do this, but hey ho, what area of life is being affected for you divine masculines out there right now? And because of the nature of what I chat, well, I'm not going to say this is more aimed for the men out there, but it might for whenever they find it. But again, I know that there's a lot of women that will resonate with bits and bobs of what I was saying too. So I don't know what was even going to say there. I'm that fucking tired. I just need to stop this. I feel like I've been crying and I haven't been. It was probably because I tapped into the trauma of crying. Leo. The energy is flamboyant, dramatic, proud, and passionate. It focuses on the importance of self-belief. That's what your guides, spirit is trying to guide the divine masculine collective with. Being proud of themselves for coming through hell and back and standing proud about who they are. Not shaming themselves and blaming themselves anymore. Realising that as far as the twin flame journey goes, it's all meant to happen the way it's meant to happen. It doesn't mean that you don't apologise and take personal responsibility for where you, like that other card said, for where you've had personal realisations and self-awareness about where you could have handled things better. But it's about just, being proud of yourself for actually attempting to reach out to your twin flame again with everything that's went on, because a lot of people won't, and then that's such a shame. The fourth house, your home and the roots of your being. And look, it's, well, I think it's meant to be like a kid's hand, but it's like two hands holding, look, and coming home, because that's what your twin flame is. For some people, actually, it might be that you live together, but it doesn't need to be that. It's just your twin flame is home. Your twin flame's home to you, you're home to your twin flame. You know what I mean? And for some of you, Investor, the goddess within your sacred spiritual center and quiet dignity. And that's actually really strongly activated in my chart right now, because mine's is, I'm pretty sure mine's is in Aries. Actually, I don't know if I'm getting mixed up with other, but anyway, but it's a strong goddess energy, and it's about, again, it's just about you getting in touch with your feelings, divine masculines. So being proud of yourself for coming through the darkness, feeling that call to come back home to yourself, because that's what your twin flame is, coming back home to yourself, and then literally going towards your twin flame when you're ready, and opening up to your feelings more. Sacred spiritual center, quiet dignity. Love it. Right. That was just a wee bit I wanted to add in, because we know I love the astrology. Now this is, we're just taking a total random route, 2 hours deep. What is a message from some divine masculines? This is not everyone's, but not all of it is everyone's anyway. Some divine masculines, loved ones in spirit. And I'm going to trust that because I was guided to use these mediumship cards, that there's going to be a particular message in here. There's a card in here that talks about make way for your happy ending. And I'd had it actually placed in my office for, my God, like fucking feels like it's been there about 6 months. Because it was reminding me that I'm doing that as well. But, oh, this card's in the wrong place. Throat chakra, Gemini, moon right now is about speaking your truth. And I think we can all notice that Joan of Arc here channeled that through me. I've just done that today, even more so. What the fuck's going on? This must be from a pick-a-pile. Look at this. So there's a tarot card that's the High Priestess, Inner Voice, and we've got throat chakra. Guys, there are no mistakes, right? That's not the deck that I'm using. So it really is time to speak your truth, because Gemini moon, Mercury is in Gemini, that's communication, and it's Gemini moon. So Mercury is in Gemini and the moon is in Gemini, and the moon is your feelings. That can also be like the moon, because it's like your hidden feelings. And speaking your truth. So the synchronicity is crazy. But yeah, what I was saying is I'm going to trust that there's a specific message in here from a loved one in spirit, and you'll know who it is, unless I specifically pick up who it's coming from. But I'm not going to do that, because that'll take a while to do that, and this video's been going on ages. So you can just let me know in the comments, but I'm going to trust. So yeah, there's a card to make way for room for your happy ending. So whether that comes up or not, that just is a message. But there's also one about a peacock and being proud of yourself. So I'm just wondering if either of them might come out. But what is a specific message from a loved one in spirit or a guide that wants to come through for someone watching this? And we'll just go for someone specific, but it will probably resonate with more than just one person. Continue to grow by seeking new knowledge. We applaud your efforts. So again, I feel that is about the learning and growing that you've been doing, about you're expanding your consciousness. And it could even be about learning about all of this, like twin flames and stuff. Anything to improve your life, really. Tune into the rhythm of nature. Let us connect together there. So perhaps if you've already been going out a walk or tuning into nature, that's just a little reminder there that your loved ones in spirit have been guiding you to do that. 43 and 40 on these cards, if they're resonating for people's ages or something. Spread your wings and fly, we are proud of you. So it's not the peacock, but it does say we're proud of you. Spread your wings and fly, we're proud of you. What that says to me is you've been growing and learning, and it's not been easy, because like that card says, you've been through hell and back. You've been trying to ground your energy, walking in nature. Taurus season right now is about doing that. And now it's time to spread your wings and fly. And we're proud of you. And it comes right back to what I started saying at the start of this, that look at this. Wow. Like, don't plan to the point of perfection that you end up taking years about it, or months, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, believe in yourself and your abilities. We believe in you. 28. We're helping to bring a little luck your way. You deserve it. The bear might be significant to someone. And like I said, I actually know somebody, I actually know, oh my God, wow, shit. So I was about to say, I actually know these messages in particular are for women that I work with that will resonate with divine masculine energy and divine feminine. The bear and the butterfly specifically, I know that will resonate with a couple of people, but that just came to me there. Right, so, and these are actually some of my power animals as well, but that is often the way with my clients, that whatever is their animals is ones that work with me too. I actually really feel the bear energy when I'm channeling these, because it's like I'm being like a mama bear, kind of comforting you divine masculine energies out there right now. Right, what's a specific message again from some loved ones in spirit? I was met by so many loving people. So if you've been worrying recently about loved ones in spirit that have passed, either recent or not recent, just know that there was other loved ones in spirit there to meet them. We've been together in dreams, and that this particular loved one that's been on your mind, for whoever this message is for, because when I'm saying this, I really do feel I'm channeling their energy as I'm saying it. Like, if they're popping up in your dreams, you're not imagining it. Like, they are with you and they're helping you every step of the way. And I feel it's for someone in particular, they're actually going to be in your dream after you watch this, just to sort of confirm to you that you're not imagining it. Like, just, you know, put your questions out to them and then be amazed how the synchronicities speak back to you. And for those of you that really want to get a message and you're finding it difficult, just go and watch one of my journeys and they'll come right on in. But don't say I didn't warn you. It'll be like pretty freaky if you've never experienced that. People say it all the time. I said it on the video before, but the loved ones in spirit bombard my journeys all the time, because I'm giving them the energy to, you know, come on guys, she's wide open. Right. And whoever this is, they must have either been a really good friend or close family member. Oh my God, that's crazy. So that's quite funny too, right? Because it's normally, is it from that card says sister from another mister, but, and again, it could be, you know, divine feminines or divine masculines that are females, but I'm more feeling it's like the mister bit. So I do feel it's like brother from another mother. I want to change that to, but it could be sister from another mister. But you know what I'm saying? It's the mister that I'm being drawn to on that card. And it might have been a recent birthday of theirs, like not too long ago, or it's your birthday or something. It might not be that, but yeah, I do feel that message coming through from a friend, that I will always point you in the right direction. I am hearing, though, they might not have done that when they're alive. They might have like might have led you down some interesting routes in life, but I feel that's like more about like getting drunk and stuff. I feel like whoever that is, it's somebody that you would have had a lot of fun with, and they might not, that's so funny, they might not have been able to guide you so well in the physical. It's not that they wouldn't have, it's just wouldn't have been their thing, is what I'm feeling. But because they are in the spirit world, when you ask out, when you reach out for help, they will help you, because they feel happy and healthy now. Healthy and happy now. And I have no more earthly worries. Sunflower might be significant. What else do we need from this? And as a soul, I can be in several places at once. that was a hard one to deliver, but yeah, it was my time to go. And always just take that means it's like somebody that you have nothing to feel guilty about. Yeah, I'm going to stop there because we're so connected. This person just, that one's creepy. I'm not dead. It's beautiful where I am. But basically, it's not your fault, right? So tears cleanse the soul. So if you're crying by now, it's probably your message. But what I'm trying to say is it's somebody that's saying, like, look, I know I passed before my time, but it was my time to go. That's when my soul chose to pass to the spirit world. And it, you know, whatever you might have felt like, whether you didn't, I don't know, whether it's like, can be anything, can't it? Whenever I've helped people in mediumship sessions, it can be things like, oh God, you know, I was going to message them that week and I never, and then I just didn't know that was going to be the last time I was going to see them, something like that. But it's just they're giving their love from the spirit world and giving you strength, angel of strength. Right, guys, I'm going to go because my contact lenses are, and I don't know why, because the heater's not on, but my contact lenses are sticking to my fucking eyeballs. So, right, divine masculine energies out there. I hope that you got something from this. Probably won't be published until Wednesday now or late Tuesday, because I'm going to need to watch this shit back. Which is very annoying because it's 2 hours and 15 minutes. But yeah, I hope that you got something from this. And I'd say the main message from that was, look how you can see how uncomfortable it is for me, right? As I'm staring at voice of truth, throat chakra, and inner voice. I mean, they're all fucking talking about the voice and speaking your truth. It's like what I said at the start, right? Like, I was about to say you only live once. You don't only live once, right? We live many, many times, but you get the gist of it. What have you got to lose by speaking your truth at this point? You've probably got everything to gain, and you probably have got stuff to lose. But the stuff that you got to lose is probably stuff that doesn't really matter. Like, and if you think you're going to lose stuff, it's probably face. That's what just there. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like before I wouldn't have spoke up about things because I was like still trying to keep my cool and protect myself and all that, and now I'm just like, I can't do that anymore, can I? So I may as well fucking just keep going with the truth. So anyway, I'm going to go now. So I am going to blow this candle out that's been burning for hours, send in the love and the healing energy, and I bet you people will have fallen asleep to this if you started watching it at night because it's so long. So I hope you got what you needed from this, and bear in mind there's always light codes and healing energy, Reiki, shamanic healing, bits and bobs, everything coming through. And that last bit there was messages from loved ones and spirit, which is always healing, and whoever that's for. And let me know if that's you, if you're able to, in the comments. I'm going to go get something to eat and a wee break before I do the Divine Feminine one and before I get onto my course. So see you when I see you. Like, comment, subscribe, book for a personal session if you need to have one and you're drawn to me. See you later. Oh, wait a minute, I need to stop recording.